guess we could kind of see our shit there, but this will let me. Actually, so I might not even need this machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't, fucking get rid of it.
Because I can just chat from here.
Yeah.
So, what is our subject matter to start with, since we're waiting on viewers?
I have no idea. I mean, we can talk about that fucking picture I just saw.
What picture?
The Heil Hitler one at the Trump rally.
Oh, okay.
God, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, the fact that fucking Trump has too much steam for being such a fucking chud.
Mostly. I don't know if I would go chud. Chud implies like a sense of harmlessness. I always thought I would go bigot.
Well, he is definitely that.
like I always saw chud as like, you know, relatively harmless.
Like Brandon's a chud.
Yeah, like Brandon's a chud. Brandon's a huge chud.
I would agree with that. But
probably the biggest chud, honestly, if I was being, you know, if I wanted to categorize it, like, you know.
But yeah, the fact that the fact that Trump still has supporters, especially after that. Like, we'll see after today, after that goes.
Yeah, because that just happened like tonight.
Right.
You know, like that just, so, of course, you know, no viewers right now, but just like so people kind of have an idea of what the fuck we're talking about.
Right. There's a huge delay. Also, I found out there's like a crazy delay.
That's fine. But anyway, so there's a picture going around right now, and the picture is a bunch of Trump supporters because there was supposed to be a rally for him in Chicago, but they canceled it due to, they say, security issues. But there are a bunch of Trump supporters there, you know, just hanging out. There's this little old lady, like tiny little old lady, white, of course, and she's at the rally, and somebody's saying something to her, and they snapped a picture, but she's just like this.
I wonder if that's out of context.
Everybody, like, that's the thing. I only saw it because one of the guys I follow on Twitter, Philip DeFranco, huge dude on YouTube, he was there. And
he was at the rally?
He wasn't there, but he retweeted a picture from somebody who was at the rally snapping pictures. And one of their thing was like, this is the thing. And then even Philip DeFranco was like, maybe she's giving directions to, you know, the young guy that's looking at her.
Go that way.
That's some funny shit, though, huh?
It is, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's more scary than it is anything. Just that thing. People for the president, like they want, like that's the kind of person that entertains this kind of idea.
Yeah.
And it's frightening because I don't want that.
Well, I don't know. Like it's one of those things that I've had, you know, I've thought about, and it's like, you know, me, I'm all about, I'm gunning for the next world war. Anything that removes a couple more billion humans, I'm a fan of. Like, if anyone can do it, Trump can.
Yeah, Trump's definitely a world war, that's for sure.
Like, it's one of those things, because I'm going to vote for Bernie. Like, that's pretty much a guarantee. I'm going to vote for Bernie.
But if it happens,
and then hopefully Bernie becomes president. And that would be awesome, because I feel like that's a step in the right direction. But if Trump becomes president, like if Trump becomes the next president, I'm still on board, because then it's like, all right, a lot of people are about to die. Like a lot of people.
Yep. That is,
and you know, it's like,
well, because we know that Trump's he's gonna do something. He's gonna piss somebody off.
Yeah.
He's gonna go tell Putin to fuck off.
Yeah.
And Putin's gonna
say some stupid. Yeah, he's gonna say some stupid shit.
He's gonna push the button. And
no, exactly. No, that's the thing. There's because it's interesting. I think with every other, even Hillary, you know, I think every single other politician has at least a little bit of experience in dealing with, like, oh, you know, taking no for an answer. You know, whereas Trump has zero
he's
experience.
Never heard no before. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If a business started to go under and they were like, you know, your business is going away, well, then he didn't take that as no. He would just take that as, all right, cut my losses. And,
yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Exactly. So no, like that's the thing. Trump has zero experience with no, and I think as a president, you really need to be susceptible to somebody rejecting what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, I mean that's the whole point of the three branches. Just that you're gonna get your shit shut down, many times. And I feel like he's the vindictive type. And I mean, it happens all the time anyway. But he's the type that if Congress and everybody were to send something through that was beneficial, he would, no matter how beneficial it would be to, even if it was, he would just say no out of spite.
Yeah,
because
if they didn't allow him to just run rampant.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sucks because, that's, it sucks because we've allowed that type of person to even garner an audience,
Right.
And it definitely, the nihilist in me is like, here comes the end, like bombs are gonna drop, we're all getting fucking taken out, like let's do this, got my little raid shelter ready. But it's one of those things, ultimately I like to pretend that there's like human kindness and shit.
But someone like that wouldn't be elected as a president of a nation.
Yeah, and somebody like that wouldn't survive long, but he somehow seems to keep garnering attention and continue to gain followers.
That's because he's the villain. He's the one that we like to watch, and we like to see what he's going to do next. It's like the same reason that Howard Stern was popular / not popular, when he started.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody hated Howard Stern, or they loved Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And the people that hated him just wanted to see what he would do next, and that's why even the people that hate Trump still follow him, still give him.
Yeah, give him attention and like. What's up?
Somebody. Apparently, Brandon's the hot dude with the beard. We all have beards, but he's the hot one. Strangely enough, the hot one. But they're asking for him. See. Brandon missed out. You should text him and tell him.
I should. No, fuck that. I ain't telling fucking Brandon shit.
Brandon, apparently you're the hot one out of us 3 fat chodes.
Yeah. Well, we're like a boy band. Brandon's the hot one. I'm the smart one. You're the fucking
leader.
Yeah, we'll call you the leader.
I'm the leader.
Leader, smart, attractive.
You're the smart one?
I'm the smart one.
God, then we're all fucked.
Listen, you're the one who like says shit and like tries to implement ideas, and then I'm the one that inevitably has to like follow through and like figure shit out.
You're like the Beast. Yeah. I'm like the Cyclops, and he's like, I guess, like the Wolverine.
Yeah, he's the Wolverine. The Wolverine. Actually, no, scratch that. I don't want Brandon hearing any of that bullshit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, if he heard that we said that, then he would definitely.
He's gonna hear. He's gonna fucking. We're probably gonna see him next week, and it's gonna be his goddamn ringtone.
He's the Wolverine. Brandon's the Wolverine.
Just call. He's like, hey, call me. We call him my dumb ass. It's like Brandon's the Wolverine. Just that on fucking repeat.
And yeah.
Oh God.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. Yeah, I do wish he was here. He would offer another perspective.
Yeah, definitely. But but no. So anyway, getting back to the whole Trump thing, it's interesting to me that somebody who presents themselves in that way. I think to me it's just further proof of how little progress we've actually made, because a lot of people talk about like we made progress and we've come a long way, yada, yada, yada. There have been advancements, but it's just like, oh man, like this guy's insanely popular. And what's worse is I have yet to meet one person who is in support of Trump that can like really defend him, It sucks because like a lot of times the second you say you're against Trump, everybody's just like, oh, well, you're a liberal or you're a, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I am not liberal at all, sir.
Yeah, I've got
not even a fucking little bit.
Family member on Facebook that posts memes and stuff, and we were gonna get into a debate the other day, but I didn't feel like I was just tired, and then the next day I just kind of forgot about it, and I just was like, too much time has passed. I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah.
But he was posting something, and I wasn't even looking for a debate. I was just telling him how it sounded like rhetoric, and then he posted something today, and it was the thing that's been flying around a little bit. The Bernie Sanders quote from Fox News that says something about like if you're white and you live in the ghetto.
Yeah, you don't know what being poor is like if you're white.
Right, but that, as a lot of the other half of the meme that's been going around, is the full thing where it shows his entire quote and how it's not even necessarily taken out of context. It was just they changed the verbiage. Yeah. They changed him to actually say something.
They made it sound like he was the one who said it, but in the quote he even says, "I met years ago, I met a young black woman who
Right.
told me, and it was her saying it, and he was quoting her.
And they kind of jumbled his words to make it fit their agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he posted the first half. He just posted the one that has been on the news, is the Fox and all that. And that was another argument that I didn't feel like getting into, but I was going to post the full thing just to get kind of show
her eyes.
Because that's what I mean. That's the thing about Trump supporters. And
absolutely, and it is one of those things that I think is funny because like. Obviously, you and I, we travel in many circles. We have friends we're friends with everybody,
right?
Like I don't think either one of us has ever met a stranger. Like if we go to a bar in fucking seconds, we've established ourselves as like, oh, those fucking guys, yeah, they're, like we meet one guy one night and fucking 2 hours later we're like, oh, this fucking guy, fucking yelling and screaming and shit, but. So, obviously I have people with the mindset of like, oh, well, I'm going to vote for Trump or I'm pro-Trump or what have you.
Right.
And it's always interesting because the second you try and insert like logic or reason or just some sort of response like anti-Trump rhetoric, the reaction is almost immediately like visceral and fucking raw and just like they're immediately out for blood. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to be rid of that because that's useful in some places, in some ways. Like being violent, being aggressive, being super fucking aggro, that's still useful in our society. It depends on where
you channel it through.
Yeah, exactly. That's still, for fuck's sake, UFC is like one of the biggest things we have going for us right now. MMA and shit, like, a few days back, I saw two women beat the ever-loving shit out of one another.
Why was that a good thing?
Well,
you mean on the UFC?
I mean on the UFC.
It's like in the street. We're in Phoenix. You couldn't see that. You could have walked out my front door and saw that.
Yeah. No, I don't mean on the street. I mean, I'm sure if I went outside more, eventually I'd come across two broads just fucking hammering the shit out of one another. But no, like, like we have UFC, we have MMA, we have a lot of heady shit like that,
I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, though. Having.
I mean, say it is.
No, Rome had the same thing because it was a distraction. It was a reason for somebody to look away, and you forget what's going on over here because you're over here watching the bloodbath.
See, that's
watching the blood sport.
I feel like it serves two purposes. It's a dual purpose. Yes, sometimes it can be a distraction. Yes, sometimes that physical violence does serve as a distraction. For me, I think it counts more as something that people can live through vicariously, and that's important.
Isn't that what movies are for?
Well, yes, movies also fill that need. Entertainment as a whole fills that need, but in MMA and UFC, it is specifically violence being worked upon another person. And as people, I think we are ingrained with violence. I think we're born and we have the capacity to be violent. Some of us never act on that. Some people go their entire lives without raising a fist against anyone.
It goes like to the threshold of like your breaking point.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with your violence threshold would be kind of a similar thing. I guess that's true.
Exactly, but it's all still within us, and even the most peaceful person on the planet can still appreciate.
Gandhi?
Yeah, honestly, I bet Gandhi would appreciate, and I'm certain Gandhi appreciates certain martial arts because of the beauty and the aesthetic that they bring.
Oh, that's definitely
but also true. The actual physical application. Like that's a big thing in MMA is, not going out looking for a fight. Like a big thing in any fighting arena, in anything to do with fighting or
when you're in the real world.
When you're in the real world, it's all about center of self, never fucking with anybody else. Don't get in somebody else's lane.
That's totally
you save it all. And the second you get in the ring, you unleash. And
that's like nuts. Mojo. He always talked about stuff like that. He does Tai Chi, which isn't exactly it's not like a combative. I think it's still technically considered a martial art, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's just not like a combative thing.
Yeah, because I was, I was learning Tai Chi with him for a long time.
Yeah.
And he always talked about that because like he always ended every class. He said, Tai Chi is a martial art. And so we raise our right hand, but we always remember to cover it in peace. And then, he'd do the bow thing. But that was always a big driving point with him where he was like, listen, if you do Tai Chi to relax and center yourself, that's what it's for. But it also teaches you how to strike, how to move, how to bend, and how to throw attackers and shit like that.
Right.
But that's the same with any martial art. Even boxing, and I've had this huge conversation before. I've had this massive argument. Boxing is a martial art. Like, it's not a Far East martial art.
I guess it's true. It's an American martial art.
A martial art. And it is a martial art in the purest sense of the word, I think. Because it's no longer... Boxing is strictly the raw application of force upon another human body with your body. And that's it. There's nothing beyond that. Like, it's pure, unadulterated violence.
Well, it's not for the peace. It's purely for the violence.
Well, you have to be at peace with yourself to fucking be successful as a boxer. Like, you have to be. There's, there's the trope of every boxing match is won outside of the ring. It's decided like 90% mental game. It's absolutely true. If you're not centered, if you're not at peace with yourself, you're gonna get in the ring and get your ass kicked.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But bringing that back to the whole Trump thing, and as far as the supporters go, and I think that his supporters just kind of take a cue from him, because all politicians kind of do it with the, they'll beat around the question. They won't directly answer a question, but I think Trump takes that to a whole nother level in that when he talks about, when he is presented a question, not only does he beat around the question, he overstates the fact that, like, he tells people what they want to hear, and then he just kind of repeats that. And I think that's what
over and over in different ways.
Yeah, he just says it a bunch of different ways until it's all right. I've talked long enough to satisfactorily have answered the question.
Yeah.
And then his supporters are the same way, though. They don't really know what to say to defend him, but they will just say things that they've heard.
They just repeat rhetoric.
Exactly.
I mean, shit. One night we had this conversation on what was it, Facebook, with Brittany's friend. Or her two friends.
Oh, God.
Well, but that's the thing. All of us came out against Trump. None of us are liberals. And yet, the only kind of counter-arguments and the only
You guys are liberals and a bunch of liberals. And
the only counterpoints were literally taglines from, like, Trump's fucking book of just memes. Like, I distinctly remember the one girl saying, like, liberals are only liberal with other people's money.
Yeah.
And it's like, one, none of us are liberals. Two, it's not other people's money. It's our money being spent on stupid bullshit, and we want it spent on something better.
Right.
But I remember, she said it once at the very beginning, and then the other friend agreed with her. And then we started, like, two different threads.
Yeah,
in the Facebook
that's why it was hard to
follow.
follow.
She said that same thing again in both those fucking threads. Literally 3 times she repeated the exact same thing. Liberals are only liberal with other people's money. And it's like,
and I can't
none of us are liberal.
I can't remember who asked the question, but I don't remember what the question was, but they were like, all right, explain to me. I think it was just explain,
It was me and Corinne.
What did you guys say? You guys asked her to explain something.
I said, I'm not liberal. Defend yourself. Like, why are you voting for Trump? Yada, yada, yada. And then Corinne jumped in and she said the exact same thing. She's like, no. Okay, listen. None of us are liberal. We're here to have a discussion. We want you to defend yourself. We want to hear exactly why. Like, we want you to explain to us in however many words it takes exactly what why you support Trump.
She
never fucking answered.
She did. Yeah, she just clammed up about that. And then I think she jumped in and said something else about something else just to avoid the question entirely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, I mean, that's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. There's no defending themselves. It's just if you present them with your thing that you're saying, it doesn't make any sense for me particular. So why would you think that? And give me another statement. But then they're done. They can't. There's nothing else, because when you go to Trump's handbook, that's not in there. So
you're done talking.
Right.
And
exactly.
almost immediately, it was ridiculous. It was funny to see how quickly they just abandoned ship as soon as they realized, we're not trying to yell at you.
Yeah.
We're not trying to fuck with you or get in your lane. We're not trying to start shit. We legitimately want to know the reason behind your support for Trump. Like, we want to get to why you are thinking the way you're thinking.
Right.
Like,
that's what it was. They were just asking. Yeah, I think that's all we were asking.
And then, it's,
I forgot what I was gonna say.
It was one of those things that just every single time I've run into a Trump supporter, that's all I've said. And what's worse is the far right, because that's another big thing. Like, I know a lot of people that are more right-leaning, more Republican, more conservative, and they still don't fucking want Trump.
Right.
Like, they still see Trump as just a giant clown, like just a massive idiot who has no idea what he's doing. And I mean, these are people that have been, Republican supporters for as long as I can remember. And they still see Trump as just this fucking bumbling idiot who's kind of stumbled his way into
the top
success.
Yeah. He's failed upward.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's funny because I feel like it's the first issue that's not a party issue. Like, it's the first time I've seen several Republicans and several Democrats come out and be like, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Which I wonder, like, in the grander scheme of things, I mean, that would be there's the half of it says conspiracy, but like in a good way. The other half just kind of says dumb luck. But the fact that Trump kind of is in his stupidity and his arrogance or whatever, he's almost splitting the two parties into three.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, isn't a bad thing, I guess. So his existence, his being there is not necessarily a bad thing. His winning would be a terrible thing. But I don't know, maybe it's kind of a, it's almost like showing, and I mean, maybe if he is a smarter person than the rest of us, and maybe his whole point is doing that. Like, maybe Trump is a good guy, and that's his end game is to, I'm playing like devil's advocate for fucking hardcore right now, but like,
you're playing devil's advocate. It's like the movie Devil's Advocate. It's almost the literal devil that you are trying to fucking argue for.
But I mean, like, yeah, like, so if he is doing what he's doing just to take the two and split it into a third, and maybe his intention isn't even to win, it's just to make people realize,
a third party, like a major third party.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know if, because like I said, I know a lot of people take issue with our two-party system.
Yes.
But like I was talking about
Mexico,
this was years and years and years ago by this point. But one Mexican president won the presidency with 35% of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Because 65% of the country is now disenfranchised with the man in charge. And yes, some of them will probably say, that's it. Like, we ran a good race. We lost. This guy's our president. Let's get in line. But, for a fact, there were way more that just said, fuck this guy because our party didn't win. So now we're going to, fight it tooth and nail.
Right.
And it's the same with, I think, the U.S. If there was a third party, I think three parties would be pretty good. 3 parties would be.
See, and I feel like that would be at least something. Because, yeah, we don't want to do that same thing and have like 10, 15 different people that are up for,
a nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another big thing. You can't, if we got away with the party system entirely, I feel like that would open us up to make us more susceptible to corruption.
If we had multiples.
If we had just like 15 parties and what have you, that would mean, yes, there is the chance that it would be used for good.
Mm-hmm.
And across the board, the candidates would be very easy, very polarizing. There'd be those who were immediately discarded and those who continued on. But like, at the end of the day, I have to believe greedy people gonna be greedy and shitty people gonna be shitty. And somebody will come along and be like, oh, I don't have to beat that guy. I just have to beat that guy. And then mold
once
themselves.
they realize that there's you don't have to beat the majority of these people. You just have to beat
key ones
Right.
that are like actually running. And that's how our two-party system developed in the first place. There were a shit ton of people running for president at any given time early on. And then it became obvious that these two parties were the ones that were really swinging their weight around.
Right.
And so, you know, two parties rose, everyone else fell by the wayside.
Mm-mm.
So we, end up with the system as is. And I defend it a lot. I know a lot of people probably have different ideas, but it's one of those things where until you implement something better, this is what we have. And trying to buck your head and deny what we have right now never works out.
True.
Yeah. So, another thing I was thinking about was the kind of going back to how Trump supporters never seem to be, I guess, it's funny. I'm going to take a page from Lojo's book and just, because he's talking about critical thinking all the time.
Yeah.
And Lojo's one of my fucking heroes. Like that dude, I always feel vindicated whenever I say something and he agrees with it. Like if I say something and Lojo comes out and is like, "Oh yeah, that's a good thing," immediately I'm like, yes.
Because you feel validated. I totally
feel
agree with
validated immediately. I'm just like, yes, Lojo agrees. Fuck what anyone else says.
That's why when we were playing D&D that one time and I posted a thing, it was with every intention of having Lojo jump in and be like, "Am I right?"
Yeah. Well, but it goes in reverse too. If I say something and Lojo's like, maybe think on that some more, immediately I'm like it's like a fucking beautiful mind to see charts and algorithms flying around. I'm just like, wait a minute, maybe I'm wrong, like immediately the second he said, like Lojo's the fucking greatest educator I've ever come across. Easily, absolutely the fucking best.
Oh yeah, by far.
By far,
Like
If,
there's a handful of people that I would,
Yeah, I was gonna say if any of my other teachers from college or high school,
You too.
this, I don't remember specific names right now, but you guys were good too, except for the ones of you that weren't. But
I was just looking up the Trump thing.
Oh yeah,
Posting some stuff there. It's just a meme that's fucking God posted it. It just said security concerns. They didn't specify.
No, they didn't specify.
Hmm.
But it's funny because I feel like this is kind of the, with Bernie's success, him actually being a candidate that people are taking seriously.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more prevalent to the idea that, the Democrats don't just have Hillary. Because I know a lot of Republicans have that mindset of like, they may not like Trump, but no fucking way in hell are they voting for Hillary. And I can respect that at least because Hillary's, really not good. And I mean that in the, as a person good.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true because something, I don't know, the whole scandal thing and then.
Well, it's not even a scandal. It's just the fact that she very immediately will change her opinion. And I feel like, yes, changing your opinion is good, Like
if it's,
you get new information and you adapt to that new information,
Right.
Like for me, Pluto's not a planet. They said Pluto's not a planet. Neil deGrasse Tyson, a man who's way smarter than I am, came out and was like, listen, Pluto, not a planet. Pluto's not a planet anymore, guys.
I thought they changed that back, though.
And they changed it back. And as soon as they changed it back, I was like, all right, Pluto's a planet.
I feel like that, I don't know.
But, okay, that's the thing. You get information and you adapt. And then if newer information comes along, you change. But the thing is, Hillary has never presented herself as somebody who says, here's new information, I adapt. Hillary has always struck me and has always been the person that's like, this is what's popular right now. Okay, I'm for it. Wait, it's not popular anymore? I'm against it. And it's not any new information in the way that like, oh, this is people are thinking.
It's not logic. It's not. It's just simply for the popular vote. It's it's that girl in high school that tries to fit in and does whatever, changes whatever to fit in. She's fucking Mean Girls.
Yeah, she is Mean Girls. But it's one of those things where it's like, she's extremely unreliable in regards to how she has voted in the past and her policies in the past.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about a woman who was staunchly against gay marriage for the longest time, and then it became very, popular.
Because the youth kind of, that's the one perk to the youth today is that they are more accepting.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because it's like I was telling you the other day, in regards to like, I was talking about Mean Girls, right?
Yeah.
Like younger people today doesn't make like Mean Girls does not make sense to them, and it doesn't make sense to them because they're like, well, why would you be shitty to a person for no reason?
But in that same vein, I mean, isn't the whole bullying thing like super prevalent in today's society among the kids?
Well, and that's the thing. Everyone says it's super prevalent. I don't think it's super prevalent. I think now there are fewer instances of bullying, but those instances of bullying immediately gain attention.
Because of the abundance of
because every kid's got a fucking camera phone. Yeah. Like every kid has a phone and it comes with a camera.
What about like cyberbullying? Because I feel like that's a real thing.
Well, cyberbullying is simply a new frontier. Like you're talking about a medium where you're almost completely free of consequence.
Anonymity definitely helps be shittier to humans.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's the thing. It's like we were talking about the whole thing with Brandon. If somebody has an opportunity to be horrible, yes, you hope that people will not be shitty. But if it benefits them in some way, even if it's horrible, they'll probably take their chances. Just if they think maybe, just maybe, they won't get caught. And then it's like, oh, I'm not going to get in trouble for this and it benefits me. Sure, I'll do it. And then later somebody will be like, that's really fucked up. And they'll be like, no, you don't understand. I wasn't going to get caught.
Because when you do get caught, then you backpedal and you deny.
Yep, deny. It's funny, I was telling you about that stupid movie I was watching, Top 5 with Chris Rock. Seinfeld was in it, Jerry Seinfeld. And Adam Sandler, and Whoopi Goldberg. Actually, DMX is in that fucking movie too, and it's good.
Not selling me on the movie at all.
It's good.
I just looked at the cast and I said, I'm going to cross it off the list.
You're the worst. You are probably the worst film student I've ever met.
I know what I like, and I don't like that.
Exactly. You're a Trump supporter, but for films.
Name one good Whoopi Goldberg movie like ever.
Sister Act.
Okay. I said good. I'll give you Ghost, but...
Listen, Ghost was all right. Fucking Sister Act was funny as a motherfucker, and I defy anybody to watch that and not chuckle at least once.
Okay, you might chuckle. I'll chuckle if the fucking cat falls off or something. That doesn't mean it was good.
Yeah, but it was funny.
It was funny. That little bit.
That's
bit of
the
fig.
point of being, like, for comedies, good is funny. And if you can make somebody laugh, even once, you've accomplished your goal.
I feel like that makes bad comedy. Because you did one stupid thing that made somebody laugh one time.
That's literally every YouTube video where some guy gets hit in the nuts.
That's not funny. That's not good. That's not good for the
You can
genre.
say not good, but it's funny. Mission accomplished. Let's go home. Anyway, shut up. I was making a point about fucking top 5.
Yeah.
I hate you. Anyway, in top 5, they're talking to Jerry Seinfeld, and this dude's about to get married, and he's just like, listen, don't get a mistress. Like, don't cheat. And he's like, I'm not gonna. And he's like, yes, you are, but I'm telling you not to. And he's like, and listen, when it happens, and he's like, if. And he's like, fine, believe, have your naivete. If it happens, you deny it. Like, you deny it to the absolute end. He's like, he was like, if you have a pussy in your pocket, you deny it. And he was talking. He was like, if my wife came to me and I had 2 pussies in my glove compartment in my car, I would just have to convince her that that was an option for an upgrade.
Jerry Seinfeld said that.
Yeah,
That's good.
it is good. See, I'm fucking telling you.
I like
Top
it.
5. Nowhere. It didn't get a lot of attention, but I fucking watched it. I enjoyed the hell
There's
out
a
of it.
couple of movies that are like that. But like that's what I do like about Netflix is that there's some movies every now and then. It's few and far between. It's very few and far between.
Oh,
It takes
yeah.
a lot of sifting and a lot of fucking
The old diamond in the rough.
exactly. There's a couple movies that I found that were like that. And they're not even like I don't know. They're not your typical movies. 2 off the top of my head. Triple Dog. Do you ever see Triple Dog?
Mm-mm.
It's like it's very much like in a Mean Girls sort of way, but not exactly like the same kind of thing because it's about just some girls that were like in they just having a sleepover or whatever, and then they get the other girl who's kind of the outcast, but she's like the bad girl,
Mm-hmm.
and they're playing like Truth or Dare, and the one girl says something, and then bad shit happens. But the girl that plays the bad girl, and then the girl that's the main girl. Like I feel like I'm really surprised that I haven't seen her in modern anything else. Like she was probably one of the best like young actresses. I'm talking like Chloe Grace, like
Oh, no shit.
like she's that caliber.
Nice.
But I've never seen her. And the other movie is Cherry. You ever seen Cherry?
Cherry?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. Actually, I think it was on my Netflix queue.
Yeah, and it's a good watch. It's about if I can remember, I really don't remember. It was a long time ago, but basically it was like this kid who falls in love with, I want to say it was his teacher, but then like her daughter falls in love with him, but she's like underage, and it's like a whole weird thing. But it's just really fucking bizarre movie, but fun and just intellectual, which is hard to find.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. It was not really a New Year's resolution, but it was kind of like a goal for myself
Right.
to only watch new shit. Like only watch
To not go
New
back and
Year's.
just watch
the same things over and over and over again. Because I realized I've seen Mad Men in its entirety about like 6 or 7 times.
Really, the whole series?
Yeah.
It's
favorite show, dude.
I mean,
Favorite
I loved
show.
the show. I mean, I think the first episode it was kind of rocky at first, then getting through there.
Oh.
Then I enjoyed the hell of it out of it.
The first episode hooked me completely.
Really?
Well, okay, because for me, Don Draper, this guy who just like fucking like he shits out gold.
Well, I know that's what appeals to me as a character because I was
exactly.
Don Draper. I was living that life, and then I fell from grace, man. That was me, man. I was like, this is my fucking life, man. That's a true story.
I can't deal with you if we're gonna be like this.
Hey,
I don't.
what can I say? I got big fish.
Just fucking. I can't. You hurt my head.
I do.
You hurt my soul hurts, and my brain feels like there are fire ants in it.
I feel like that happens to you a lot.
Only when I'm fucking talking to your dumbass about being Don Draper.
I can't help it that you're not on my level.
I'm above your level, and you're not Don Draper, like at all.
Not anymore.
No, not ever. I've known you since what? How many years have we fucking known each other?
Well, I graduated
5,
in 2010,
6.
so it would have been before that, at least 6, 7.
Jeez. Oh, God. I've known you almost a decade, and I can
Almost.
tell you, without a doubt, unequivocally, you are not Don. God damn it. Will you please handle your fucking cat?
Cat. But no, but I was in advertising. That's what I mean.
Okay, fine.
All the
You were
things,
in
all the
advertising.
parallels that he saw, that I saw at him doing advertising. It was paralleling the things that I was doing because I just understood his struggles at times, and it was a slightly different medium because he was more print advertising, but there was the TV advertising. But that's all that I did, and I don't know.
My soul, it just hurts
Jelly
every
bro.
time you say that.
Don't be jealous.
Shut up. Anyway, episode 1 of Mad Men. He's going through his shit, right?
Mhm.
Does all this stuff, talking about Lucky Strike, like, you like when he pulls over that the waiter, the black waiter, and he says, like, what do you smoke? And he's like, oh, these they gave them to us in the service. Don Draper's like, what if, would you smoke a Lucky Strike? Because Lucky Strike was their fucking golden goose for the goose that laid the golden egg forever, like shit, that was like 4 or 5 seasons, yo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about that, and then he's banging broads, and he's fucking just being cool as a motherfucker. And then at the end of the first episode, he goes home, and he has a home, and 2 kids, and a wife, and it's just like, oh, that drew me in immediately, because I've always found that duality of man interesting. This guy who could be this fucking cool, suave motherfucker.
And live this kind of split life sort of.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's funny because I was talking to Caleb about fucking Game of Thrones. And I was like, Game of Thrones tagline should be too little, too late. Because that's the entire series. Especially if you read the books. The entire series is based off people doing something and it being too little, too late. Theon Greyjoy in the show. Just so, I know a lot more people have seen the show, but in the show, he ends up with old fucking psychopath, right? And they're in the tunnels. Bolton, yeah. They're in the tunnels going back to the torture chamber that he, rescued him from. Oh. But Theon Greyjoy sits there and he has a moment where he's like, my father died when Joffrey cut his head off. Because he's talking about his father versus his father.
Right.
And they have that moment, and he actually has the moment of clarity where he's like, I fucked up. I should have never gone to my birth father. I should have stayed loyal to my father, this, that, and the other. Yeah. And then he ends up back in the fucking torture chamber, and then gets his dick cut off. Well, and that's the thing. Like, it's too little, too late. Fucking Daenerys. She's like, oh, this old medicine woman who's all kindly, like, I trust her. Fucking Khal Drogo pays the price, gets turned into a goddamn potato.
That's not her fault, was it?
It is her fault. She trusted the fucking medicine woman.
But the medicine woman tried to help.
No, the medicine woman said, I'm gonna help. And then she turned fucking Khal Drogo into a potato.
What did she do?
She fucking medicined his dumb ass and was like, I can, it's a life for a life. So she ends up killing Daenerys' baby to save Khal Drogo's life. But Khal Drogo's life isn't actually saved. He's living, but he's a potato.
That's not her fault. I feel like that's just...
No, that is her fault. She meant to do that because then later she's talking to fucking Dany and she said...
missed all that.
Exactly. Of course you did because you're stupid and you're not Don Draper. Don Draper wouldn't have missed it.
He might have. He would have.
No, he wouldn't have. Don Draper doesn't miss shit.
Broads. I don't know. The thing about the whole Game of Thrones thing, you can say too little too late, but I feel like it's just a bunch of idiots that can't see the bigger picture. In that they're fighting over their throne. They're having this Game of Thrones while everybody's about to be murdered by...
You just had to say it, didn't you? You just had to. You couldn't resist.
Roll credits.
No, but it's the same in regards to Don Draper. It's these people, all of these people trying to exist in a mold and not being able to. And so when they finally kind of like snap, they snap big.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true. Like, what's his name? Gutenberg? Was it Gutenberg or was it something like that? The skinny kid who was like a copy boy. Ginsburg. When he fucking literally snaps.
Yeah.
Fucking slices his tit off.
Yeah.
That was definitely out left field for me as far as fucking characters freaking the hell out.
Or even, what's his name? Lane, the British guy.
Jesus. Spoilers.
Spoiler. Okay. Mad Men's been out for a fucking long time.
It just came on Netflix last season.
No, the final of it came out on Netflix last season.
Well, somebody might have been waiting for the whole series to be available.
If you do that, you're an asshole. I'm just going to say it. If you wait for the entire thing to be done so you can marathon it, you're an asshole. Fucking watch it with the rest of us or view this at your own risk. Anyway, spoilers. Lane fucking hangs himself, kills himself.
The reveal on that was pretty good.
It was beautiful.
Where's Lane at? Oh, shit. Hang on over there.
And oh, God, it was so good. The whole show is fucking great. And it's people pretending to be something they're not. That's the
Yes.
entirety of the show. People trying to be something that they just aren't. And it's not fair to the people to pretend, and it's not fair to other people because they get wrapped up in the bullshit. You know?
Definitely a good show. Game of Thrones.
Oh, my favorite. Absolutely.
See, I wouldn't call it my
Absolute
favorite. I don't know. Up until probably the last episode, I would say Breaking Bad was my favorite.
Oh, Breaking. Oh, such a good show.
Just because of the dynamic. You don't see a character that dynamic in TV. And not just Walter White, but Jesse. And the fact that they basically just switch sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, I think it's funny because Jesse wanted to be a bad person.
Yeah, he really. It's like the Kylo Ren argument.
Yeah,
He really wants to be bad, but
he really wanted to be that fucking like oh, I'm
That
fucking
kingpin.
gangster,
Yeah,
you know,
he was
I'm a
gangster.
kingpin, I'm that fucking OG son, you know, like he wanted to be this fucking thug, and then by the end of the series, he was just like, I can't do this. Like he was just
he saw all the
run
bad
down.
shit that he would do and the consequences of bad shit.
Yep.
And you realize it's not. The whole kid thing was really what threw him off. Whereas Walter White was not.
Listen, I'm just saying, kids die every day. Like you just gotta fucking get over it.
But I feel like if you are the responsible one for the kid, that
I'm pretty certain I've inadvertently caused some death and destruction in this world.
not surprising at all. But did you know about it?
Even if I knew about it, like what can I do?
I feel like if you knew about it, it would weigh on your soul a little heavier.
Nah. 'Cause what can I do? Like unless I was actually there holding the trigger, would I ever like pull the trigger on a kid? I don't know. Maybe like
They deserved it.
if they deserved it, yeah. Or if I was trying to prove a point.
Jeez. I could totally kill a kid. Watch. Point proven.
No,
Bad
like I'm
point.
just like, if their parents were like, we're gonna turn you into the cops, I'm gonna be like, listen, I don't want to, but I will kill your child because I don't want to go to prison.
It's pretty twisted.
It is twisted, and I acknowledge that. See, I'm the exact opposite of Jesse Pinkman. I know I'm a horrible person, and I embrace that.
Is it Walter White?
Exactly. No, because
But
even
he had-
Walter White fought against it forever.
And he actually had at least I guess maybe it was initially he had a justifiable cause to a point. I mean,
What, the whole dying thing?
he was doing it for a reason. I don't know if it's necessarily justifiable, but
Even that,
he had a reason for doing it.
I love how at the end of the series he even acknowledged the reason was bullshit.
Yeah,
Because Skylar came again. Spoiler alert.
that's actually been out for a while.
You better fucking watch Breaking Bad. I swear to God, I will find you. All right, so Breaking Bad. Spoiler alert. Don't fucking skip. You can't even skip because I don't know how long this is going. But just fucking ignore this part. Plug your ears.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. But no, like even at the end when Skylar's like, I don't want to hear you say, this was for your family one more time. Like, don't fucking give me that. And like Walter White even admits, he's like, it wasn't for my family. It was for me because I was good at it. Because I was,
I think it became that though. It didn't
Okay.
start out like that.
Maybe not, but it was a
Exactly.
simple prelude to what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was anybody with half a fucking brain could see that's where he was going. As soon as he went into Tuco's office and threatened to blow himself up
See,
in Tuco too.
I feel like though I don't know, there was a certain percentage of people that thought that maybe he would come back. Like maybe he wouldn't turn to the dark
Oh
side.
fuck no.
Even though I guess if you talk to Vince Gilligan at all, he every time he said very specifically he is, what did he say, Mr. Smith or something becomes Scarface.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
not Mr. Smith. Some happy-go-lucky. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like he happened upon this world, and in the beginning, he realized he could thrive in this world.
Yeah.
He could grow, and he could become more than just Walter White.
Because of his knowledge and his skills.
Well, exactly. And then it wasn't until much later that he fully accepted. I think in the beginning, because like for me, there are certain things that make a villain. For me, and this has always been my thinking. One, you can't be afraid of death. And he proved that when he threatened to kill himself and Tuco.
I don't
Like-
think he threatened to kill him. I don't know how he threatened to kill him.
because he had those exploding fucking, rocks that wasn't crystal meth.
I feel like
And-
he was
okay.
crystal meth. I feel like he was bullshitting.
No, he wasn't because he proved it. He fucking threw that piece and blew
He
out.
threw the one piece.
Yes, but he held a bag full of the rest and just fucking held it out. And he told him, if you come on, bro. Like,
yeah,
let's
but I
do
feel
it.
like that was him bluffing. Rick Sanchez did
it-
the same thing.
It was not bluffing.
in the Purge
It
episode.
was not
He
fucking
says,
bluffing.
I only had one of those things. I'm holding a box of Tic Tacs right now. It's the same thing.
No,
he was
I
holding a
don't
box
think
of Tic
he
Tacs
was
saying,
not bluffing. He wasn't. He couldn't have been bluffing because then he goes down, gets in his car, and just fucking roars. Like he fucking screams to the goddamn heaven because he just faced death. Like he had cancer at that point, and he was thinking of death,
Mhm.
but it wasn't until that moment that he actually thought, like, fucking, this is it. Like, this is how it's gonna end.
But going to the end of that series is very.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful.
It's not. It's not good. It's a bad ending.
No, it's a great ending. It's
not.
Hold on, I've gotta fucking.
Ugh.
I gotta get another drink. I'll fucking argue this point later.
Intermission.
Intermission.
Xbox turn off.
Are you ready?
Oh, it's more beer.
Yeah. It's been in there.
Fucking beer.
All right, we're back. Really?
In Rome.
Do you need more vodka?
You never have too much vodka, dog. All right, scoot it over. Or scoot back. There you go. Beer on your face. I think we probably lost all of our viewership with that.
Probably.
But why? Really? Oh. I can't take vodka shots. It's
That's
just
not bad.
not a thing. That's that Seagram's, dog. Can't go wrong with Seagram's. Anyway, the ending of Breaking Bad is not poetic. Oh, that's not even a thing anymore.
No.
I shut that thing off.
Fuck them.
Um,
No, it is poetic. It's fucking
it's not
beautiful.
even really good at all because it's so random.
How is it random?
Because he sets the gun up. He's not an engineer. He's not a fucking.
That's why there's literally that shot of him sitting outside his car with the gun, looking at a manual for how to set this up.
For how to set up a car gun.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
No, not to set up a car gun, to set up a little rotary machine.
Okay. Anyway, so I'll give you that then. I will give you that because of that. But when he sets the gun off,
Yes.
he doesn't. It's not that he didn't know what was going to happen. He stands there. He argues. He gets in the argument. Tackles Jesse, and he randomly gets shot in the stomach. Randomly, it just happened. It's a ricochet. Even it wasn't even a direct shot. It was a ricochet. So he didn't know he was going to die.
But he accepted it.
He was shot. He was not going to accept
that's
it.
the thing.
He's like, I got shot. Fuck
No, he wanted it to happen. He went to Skylar and admitted, he said, I'm gonna fucking try and undo all of this.
But,
you know, he longed for the fucking sweet embrace of death.
okay, so let's do a hypothetical. And what would have happened if he tackled Jesse, him and Jesse get up, everybody else is dead, then nothing? Like, if everybody's dead.
He probably would have killed himself.
I don't think he would have.
I think he would have.
No,
I don't think he wanted to live through that night.
But he wouldn't have killed himself. He's not that person. He can't self-terminate, man. Like, it's not a thing.
I think at that point he could have, and he would have. He is no longer concerned with any of the other bullshit. He proved that when that fucking guy was like trying to light up a cigarette and be all badass and like, if you ever want to see your money again, and you know, I'm the only one who knows where it's buried in the desert. He didn't care. He just fucking walked up and pop, pop, killed that nigga. Fucking took his ass out. Didn't fucking care. Didn't give him the time of fucking day. Then what did he do? Picked up Jesse. He was like, go. Get the fuck out of here. Jesse ran. Walter White just stood there. I feel it in my goddamn blood and guts. If he did not get hit by a ricochet, he would have fucking taken his own life. He would have killed himself.
Again, I don't think he's the type of person to have done that. But even then, it is speculative that at the end of the show, you see Walter lay down. You don't see him die.
No, you don't.
You see him laying there, you know, dying, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
And the cops bust in. Now, somebody on that police team, and Matt Pat said this, somebody on that police force knows, you know, they're EMT. They have training. All of them have some sort of training in that regard. They do. And so their first, you know, reaction is, you know, this person is down. Do something. Take the steps to you know, keep them alive, basically.
Yeah, sure.
And it would be in everybody's, I don't know, not necessarily their best interest, but everybody would most likely want to keep Walter White alive to see him pay for his crimes. All these cops that know who they're going after right now, or the SWAT team or whatever they were, like, they would like to see him do time to pay for this.
I don't know. You say, yes, you know, these cops would be like, we want him to do time. But even though you didn't technically see Walter White, you know, like die, like fucking expire, he still was just laying on the ground and he wanted to be done. He wanted to just, I'm out.
But that doesn't mean you just die.
It does, though.
Unless you're, I mean, if he was, and again, it just comes down to how far along he was, because he was shot in the stomach, which is not a fatal wound in the short term. That is not going to kill you right away. That is going to take.
No, that's going to take, I don't know, half hour, maybe an hour, even more.
It takes, fucking Reservoir Dogs said it best. It takes days to die from that wound. Days. Granted, I guess they were wrong because he still died in like the hour. But still, you know, Walter White.
I'm going to keep drinking your drink if you're going to keep saying stupid shit.
I was just proving my own points.
Yeah, exactly. You're stupid is what you are. Anyway, no, the thing is, Walter White was the perfect villain. And he was a villain. I feel like that
Well, he was definitely a villain.
Well, okay, but that's the thing. I feel like that can't be stated enough. He was a villain. He was a bad fucking guy. He was a shitty human. His existence was not worth continuing, and he knew it. He fought it for the longest time. He wanted to be like, you know, Mr. Stand-Up Dad and whatever, but he wasn't. He just wasn't.
He just wasn't in his, yeah.
You know, like you can talk about, I don't know, genetics. You can talk about what you are as a person. You can talk about all this shit. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, Walter White, he was not a good person at all. And being a shitty person, he had an end. He knew it. In the beginning, when he first dealt with Tuco, I fully believe he was like, okay, this is it. This is how I end.
But see,
and then he accepted it. And then afterwards, he lived. And
but that goes against what you just said. If he accepted it then why did it not just happen? No, because circumstances were different.
Yeah. He fucking got to the point where he saw death and he knew he could face it.
He said, "Not today."
Not today. But he knew he could face it. He knew he could look death in the fucking eye and realize, let's fucking do this.
Rumble.
You know, like let's break shit. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to set this thing up. But I guess we can agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's the what's it? I guess you'd call it the fucking beauty of film, or even beauty of narrative. There are always going to be those points and counterpoints. You know, eventually, like I can't convince you any more than you can convince me. But
Even if you're wrong.
even if I'm right,
Did we talk about Star Wars the other day?
I fucking don't know. Probably, maybe.
Or did we talk about it, or did we talk about talking about it?
We talked about talking about it. We did the other thing where we recorded Star Wars, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's right. We recorded Star Wars. We just didn't broadcast Star Wars.
If you want to talk about Star Wars, I'm down to talk about Star Wars.
I'm always down to talk about Star Wars.
Same.
Well, because I just thought about it because I mentioned fucking Kylo Ren a second ago.
Oh yeah,
And how
good old Kylo Ren.
And I mean, I guess we're just kind of restating the same points we made before, in that it's he wants to be the bad guy. He really wants to be, and I guess by the end of the movie, he kind of is the bad guy.
Yeah, he is.
But he wants to be a part of the dark side, yet he can't quite get there.
Yeah.
On his own, and I just like that dynamic as far as how it goes against the grain of your typical movie in general, but also your typical Star Wars story, because every Star Wars story has always been like, I'm good and I want to be good and I want to be good side, dark or light side, but I'm tempted by the dark side.
Yeah.
And he's the only one to ever be tempted by the light side, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I like that concept. I just don't necessarily as a character I like him, even as an actor I like him. Adam Driver. It's just something about.
Is that his name?
Adam Driver, yeah.
Adam Driver?
He's from Girls. You ever see Girls?
No.
Terrible HBO show. You want to
Really?
see some of the uggos on fucking. They were just like, pick the ugliest girls you can, give them a show. And
I'll have to check it out.
what the one broad is like, she's just really homely. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean,
Frumpy.
she is frumpy though.
See, to this day, I disagree with the use of the word frumpy.
You just used the word frumpy.
I know, and I just I can't fight it anymore because I know frumpy means not great looking, but frumpy sounds cute. I feel like frumpy should mean cute.
I feel the same way about the word
cute.
homely. It sounds like you're not the best looking, but you're not, you just look very plain, but cute.
I don't even know if plain works, because plain to me sounds
like when you say, average, define average.
Yeah, plain.
Where does the average fall?
There's average, and then here's plain. But when I hear homely, I just think here or here. Here, right on the line, or here, just above.
Just above the line.
And then when I hear frumpy, I think of something cute. I hear frumpy, and I'm like, cute little babby, But I know that's not what it means, so I'm done fighting it because I can't fucking argue.
You can't argue the meaning of words. You can't change the definition of a word.
I have tried and I have fucking failed. So be it.
Right. Anyway, but they are that, and he is on that show, and I've seen clips of him. I don't know. It's not good. I don't like it. It seems terrible. And I guess maybe that also has skewed my perspective of him in the Star Wars. Is I can't detach myself from the actor.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though he's not super famous, he's not like if you see fucking Clooney or Hanks or even Brad Pitt nowadays, you see them, I don't care who you're trying to play, you're fucking that person. Even Johnny Depp now, because it's just he puts on some fucking stupid shit and you're like, that's just Johnny Depp trying to be something
new
else.
Stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's what Adam Driver kind of did, having seen not even the show, but just seeing him.
And that is, I think, a risk actors take, because every actor, even Johnny Depp, I fucking love Johnny Depp. Are you kidding me? What's Eating Gilbert Grape to this day is one of my fucking favorite movies.
Oh, that was Leo's fucking tour de force.
Well, Leo was fucking great in that too. Leo, I fucking love. It's a little factoid, so it's probably not true. But they were talking about the award show of What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and Leonardo DiCaprio showed up, and everyone's surprised he wasn't actually a mentally handicapped kid.
They knew who he was.
No, like a bunch of people had no idea who the fuck Leonardo DiCaprio.
Young, but he was on fucking Growing Pains.
Yeah, but nobody had like.
It wasn't the internet.
Yeah,
you couldn't just look him up.
Exactly. So he showed up to the fucking premiere, and that's again, it could be completely fucking false and just like. Yeah. Some weird factoid I read and just accepted as truth because hey, it's the internet.
Because I feel like if they thought he was retarded and he did that good and they didn't give him the Academy Award, makes him look like a bunch of dicks.
The Academies are mostly a bunch of dicks.
That is true too. But yeah, Johnny Depp, I'll give you like 5 movies. You get 5. The rest are garbage.
But that's the thing. Every actor runs that risk because every actor has the possibility of being put in that role that they fucking just nail, and then everybody else says, "Oh, that's what they are." I mean, for fuck's sake, look at what's it? Oh shit, Captain Picard.
Shit. Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
I had to find it.
Thank you. Patrick Stewart, though. I mean, everybody called just Captain Picard. Nobody says anything else in regards to Patrick Stewart unless exactly. But he's fucking put in roles that he actually is like nails, and they're fucking. He's good at them. He's good at fucking everything. Patrick Stewart could play fucking Meryl Streep playing Mary Poppins and still be the best.
Bald Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Yep. I don't know. See, Patrick Stewart is.
Oh wait, I think we're supposed to say Sir Patrick Stewart.
Is he Sir Patrick Stewart? I feel like he would be. Most of them are because like him, Ian McKellen, all of them. But the thing is, those guys are classically trained, like they're theatrical actors.
Yeah,
they do movies because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
But
and he's good.
They're in a different. They're like in a different category, man. To like your Brad Pitts, your fucking Clooney's, your Depps, your Bradley Coopers.
Yeah, but even then, all of these actors run the risk of being typecast. And if they are typecast, it's not like it's their fault that they're good at what they do. They're just really good. Like, again, with Johnny Depp, going back to Johnny Depp, he played Captain Jack Sparrow. He was really fucking good as Captain Jack Sparrow, and he just fell into the fucking role.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not to say, like, it's one of those things where I hear people say, oh, well, he's just Captain Jack now. And it's like, so what you're saying is he's so good at becoming a different person, he became a different person.
But I think it's not necessarily his fault, I guess, like you said. But I also blame fucking Tim Burton in that he just basically was like, I'm going to make a bunch of movies that aren't quite Jack Sparrow characters, but they're pretty much Jack Sparrow. He's going to dress up in some bullshit. He's going to flail his fucking arms around and be all flamboyant. And that's going to be the character.
Yeah.
Like, name a character he's done recently that's not that. Like, it just doesn't exist, man. I'll give you, he did Black Mass, which I haven't seen. But
right. I haven't seen that either.
AJ said it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I
like AJ, and I like a lot of the shit he says is good.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big thing. If AJ says something's good,
and I think maybe that's Johnny Depp's problem. Is he needs to just be like, Tim Burton, fuck off. Go make.
So okay, but that's the thing. You don't like the director Tim Burton. It's not that you don't.
It's not. No, I don't like them together. Because together they're just this stupid, unstoppable force of stupid.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think Tim Burton, just moving to directors real quick. Like, we'll leave the fucking actors behind.
Okay.
But moving to Tim Burton, moving to directors. Tim Burton, he reminds me of those directors who have their niche, you know.
He's very well. I mean, yeah,
he's like Michael Bay.
He's made a name off.
He's like Michael
cult
Bay.
Movies. That's all he makes is cult movies.
Exactly. No, but he's like the Michael Bay of cult movies. You know.
That's true. I will give you that.
And okay, and that's the thing. It's not necessarily that that's a bad thing. It's just that's what they do.
That's just his thing.
Yeah, that's just his thing.
I guess I can agree with that. In that he has a thing, and what's a director going to do other than just have their thing and do their thing? I guess that's what Kevin Smith has said that a bunch of times. When I saw him live, I think he brought that up. the fact that it's like, don't make your shit for people. Like, if you have fans, like, by all means, you know, you want them to enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
But you're making
Oh,
it,
dude, that's fucking Robert Rodriguez to a fucking T.
right. You make your own shit, and I guess, you know, I can't fault him for that.
Yeah. No, and even Robert Rodriguez, he even said explicitly multiple times when he made the Spy Kids franchise, he was like, I have kids and they like this, they love this, they
Kids do
come
love
to
those
the
fucking movies.
Yeah, he's like, they come to the set, they hang out. He's like,
Did Robert Rodriguez do Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
yeah,
He did do those?
yeah.
Okay, because I swear he fucking had to, because they look the same.
Mm-hmm.
The movies look exactly the fucking same.
Wait, I think he had a hand in them. I don't know if they were his movies. Look that shit up.
I'm on the wrong fucking thing.
You are on the
Wrong keyboard.
you need to stop this. All right, I'm gonna take this.
God damn it. Why, see, we have people watching. Why don't they look this stuff up for us?
For real though.
Somebody look that up.
Somebody looked at it.
Find out who directed Spy Kid, or not Spy Kid, who directed Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
You got a laptop right there.
God
Do it.
damn it. It's like a whole thing.
It's not literally LAVA. Oh God, you're going to IMDb. I can't deal with IMDb right now. The reviews just fucking infuriate me. I can't. Hold on, I gotta fucking text people anyway.
Ugh. Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. All right. 3D. Directed Robert Rodriguez. He fucking directed it.
Yeah.
See? I was right.
See,
I'm always right.
you
But
take that back.
that makes sense. That I mean, because it looks the same as the other ones. Even I think, isn't the girl in both movies? Maybe not. The fucking
What's her name? Alexa
Oh,
Vega.
never mind. No, it's Alexa Vega. Ooh,
Oh,
she got hot.
oh, listen, I was a kid when fucking Spy Kids came
You're
out.
so little.
Yeah, but I was a kid when Spy Kids came out. And even then, I was like, oh yeah, that one.
See, I couldn't say that because that would make me a pedophile.
You.
Like when it
Are you a pedophile?
Who's a pedophile?
No, like I was young. That's the thing. That's like, I want to meet Seth Green.
Why?
Okay, I want to meet Seth Green because I like Seth Green. You know,
Oh,
he's a
okay.
cool dude. But I don't want to meet him when he's with his wife because I will fucking drool over his wife and I feel
Who's
like
his
that's being
wife?
disrespectful. She's that fucking. Oh God, I know her name, but I can't remember it right now. Remember Walk the Line?
Reese Witherspoon?
No. Walk the Line when Johnny Cash first starts cheating on his first wife.
Oh,
The girl that's in the crowd that comes up to stage,
nice.
that's his wife. That's who
Who the
Seth
fuck
Green.
is that girl? Is this some random
I
girl
know
number
her
three?
name, but I can't remember it right now because
Yeah, I know that feeling.
you know Daddy's been drinking. But that's who his fucking wife is. And I feel bad because I really want to meet Seth Green. But if I'm ever around Seth Green and his wife, Seth Green's going to be talking. I'm going to be staring at his wife. That's disrespectful as a
I
motherfucker.
feel the same way about the lucky bastard who married. I think they're married. Christina Hendricks.
Oh,
The fucking nerdy looking son of a bitch.
yeah, from fucking Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God knows what else. But he gets to nail Christina Hendricks, which fucking props to that.
See, it's weird because I have a hard, like I said, Mad Men, favorite show of all time. I have a very hard time separating Christina Hendricks and Joan from Mad Men.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously she's a fucking great actress. She's fucking fantastic. Everything I've seen her in. Well, okay, the thing
What has
is,
she been in? I can think
Drive.
of one movie, yeah, which she didn't say a lot.
okay, fine,
Fucking sat
but in
Big
Drive,
hat with big tits.
that too. But in Drive, I didn't see Christina Hendricks. I saw the broad in Drive. In Mad Men, I don't see Christina Hendricks.
You
I
see
see
Joan.
Joan. That to me is the mark of a good actor or actress. If you can have that disconnect.
Female actor. You shouldn't differentiate actor and actress. That's check your privilege. Anyway, no, but that
Fuck
is
off with your privilege.
that is definitely true. Somebody
But
that's
the thing is, like,
good, you can.
because see, that's the thing. If I met Christina Hendricks, oh yeah, my fucking mouth would be, my jaw would be on the floor, my tongue would be the fucking red carpet. But if I met like Joan, the character Joan, I'd fucking knock that up and lock that down in a
I
heartbeat.
feel like the character Joan would slap you in the fucking face.
Oh, she would, and I would love it. To even be like slapped in the face by Joan for like a split second for that fucking her hand to touch my face, worth it. You know, and so be it. You know, sometimes you guys get smacked in the fucking face.
Yeah, you definitely need that.
You're a piece of shit.
She is good in that respect, but it goes back to Johnny Depp, is that he's, and I guess he is good at that. He's good at becoming other characters. It's just that when those other characters are the same as the characters he's already done, it kind of invalidates his role, you know? Like him in Black Mass, the little bit of that I saw looks really good, and it's convincing that he is this other person. Whereas him in like fucking, what's that? The Lone Ranger is like, no.
I haven't even seen that yet.
I couldn't watch it. It's fucking unwatchable. But it's just him playing like Native American pirate.
See, that's the thing. I've yet to see a movie that is completely unwatchable. Because I've watched some bad movies, and I acknowledge bad movies. What?
You ever seen Monos, The Hands of Fate? Unfucking watchable. The worst movie, regarded as the worst movie of all time. Somebody can fact check that. The Room, another fucking terrible movie that I cannot watch.
Really?
I can't watch it.
I watched it. Okay, the problem.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Like, how do you even watch that?
The problem is, okay, and I know this is like my hang up and this is my fuck up.
If you watch shitty movies?
No, I know what it takes to make a movie.
Because you've seen, yeah.
I've made a short film. A short film.
And making a short film is a pain in the fucking
And making a short film almost killed me. Like, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to just go to school, climb to the very top, find roof access, and just throw myself off the fucking building. Because holy shit,
that's why
making a movie is probably the fucking most ignorant thing anybody can say they want to do. Making movies is for the mentally handicapped. I include us.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
you have to be insane to do it, because
you have to be
a
dumb as a
work
motherfucker
for virtually no payoff. I mean, if you are really good, you'll make money off of it.
Yeah. But even then, the stress of dealing with all of these fucking factors that you cannot fucking like foresee or fucking count on, there's no such thing. You know, like you cannot, if somebody says they're going to be there, you have no idea if that's true or not.
That comes down to, like, that's small, that's low budget independent filmmaking. That's definitely true. When it comes to making big budget movies, you have people that are, because you're paying them so much. That
well, yes, you're paying them, so they're going to be there. But even when they're there, there's no guarantee that they're going to do what you want. The thing is, because I always talk about, like, I for me personally, and this doesn't have to fucking influence or impact anybody else. For me personally, there is high art and there's a low art. Low art, film, because anybody can do film. Anybody. If they do it well, great. But anybody can pick up a camera, and everybody has a story to tell.
Arguable. Anyway, what's your point? What's your other
point? Is high art is like musicians, artists, people who fucking train for years and years and years to be good at what they do. Filmmaking, you can get good in like a year.
See, I disagree though. I would say that in itself it is high art, but there is, like, every facet, because you have high art musicians, you have high art, like Caleb. He has the potential to be a great fucking artist. He doesn't squander his fucking ability so much. And that takes, to some degree, it's like an inert talent, but it's also something you have to train and get better at.
Well, yes, it's something you have to develop, but there's that innate talent.
But film is the same thing. You have to get good at it. It's not just a matter of, because, like, there's plenty of filmmakers that have been making shit. Uwe Boll, I mean, his whole shtick is that he likes to just make movies because he can make them for cheap, make money.
Yeah.
But they're still shitty movies. If he cared at all, or if he wanted to do it, he would do it and make something that is worth making, not just making money. Same thing with Michael Bay. Michael Bay's not necessarily good at it.
But that's the thing. Michael Bay is good at it. Michael Bay, again, I have to fucking defend the shit out of Michael Bay. I have to. Because Michael Bay is one of those guys who does what he does because he enjoys doing it. He loves the explosions. He loves the slow-mo. He loves the commercials with the fucking Victoria's Secret models and the cars and the explosion. Like that's what he wants
But
to do,
that's the thing,
and
okay.
that's enough.
So giving you that, yeah. So that is the low art version of filmmaking. But then you have
No, but it isn't. That's the thing. It isn't
It is.
low art.
it is low. It's the thing is you have like directors that make
Okay, but here's
Gus
the
Van
difference.
Sant, the fucking
Here's the
artsy
diff-
movies that have
Here's
these stories to tell.
here's the difference. The worst violin player in the world still knows how to play a fucking violin, and the worst filmmaker in the world knows how to use a camera. Maybe not as adept as a like fucking senior filmmaker,
Right.
but the medium is the same.
But I feel like your point is you just contradicted yourself.
No.
In that you can do the thing and you still know how to do the thing.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
Or
the
you
thing.
do the thing well.
All the mediums are judged. Everything is judged by the lowest common denominator, and the worst filmmaker is still a filmmaker, whereas the worst violin player is not a violin player until they gain proficiency, and then they still may be the worst, but they're a fucking violin player.
Yeah, but that's not high art. That's just
It
how
is still high
it's
art.
not.
It is. A musician will always be somebody who fucking has to do some crazy shit on something.
No, because if you look at some shit musicians that can play an instrument, they know how to play an instrument, but they can't do anything else. They can literally strum a fucking guitar and call it a day. That's not good. That's not art.
That is.
It's not. It's
It
just
is.
shit. Whereas you have a filmmaker who fucking puts a camera up and sets a fucking Paranormal Activity. That's not filmmaking. That's you putting a fucking camera down
Okay, you
and telling
say
me a
it's
shitty
not,
story.
You say it's not filmmaking, and yet every single person who worked on Paranormal Activity can buy a house, and you and I were fucking
Because we ain't made a movie yet. We need to do that. We're getting on that.
right.
We're working on it.
You say that, and yet here we are, fucking yelling at each other on YouTube. I'm just saying, there's high art, there's low art film,
But I
because
feel like-
anybody can do film.
But not anybody can. That's not
Anybody can.
true. Because anybody can do film.
Anybody can.
Guarantee you, if I went and picked up a violin right now, I could play a violin. Not well, but I could play it. I would
You're not
have
really playing it. You're not really playing it then.
You're not really making film.
No,
Same argument.
they are.
They're not.
They are, because film requires no talent to get into. It requires talent and hard work to get good at, but it doesn't take anything to get into. If you're playing a violin, yes, you're playing it shittily, but then you're not really playing a violin. You're just fucking around.
The exact same argument applies to film.
No,
if you try
because
to make a film,
even the worst filmmaker has made a film, whereas the worst violin player could not make beautiful music, and that's the goal.
no, that's
Even
it.
Tommy
No, the goal
Wiseau
isn't-
made a shitty movie, The Room, right?
Yeah.
Just bringing it back. He made The Room. Not a good filmmaker
No.
at all.
No,
Horrible movie.
terrible.
One of the worst,
Very.
but it's still a movie.
Yeah.
And we count it as a movie. If a horrible violin player got up, played, and just fucking screeched for like 2 minutes, nobody would say that's a song. Nobody would say
Why not?
that's a finished thing. Everybody would say that was horrible.
And that's what everybody said about The Room.
And yet it's still enjoyed by
It's
fucking...
not enjoyed. Nobody enjoys
no,
it.
they enjoy it because it's almost a mockery. People laugh about it. It's a joke.
So then, what if you were to do the same thing with the violin? What if you were to make something so terrible it became like people were like,
The thing
let's
is,
enjoy fucking making fun
yeah,
of it.
absolutely. And there are those things. I mean, fuck, punk's an entire genre of trying to turn music on its head. For a while, there was an entire punk genre of fucking like just noise, like just screaming, just fucking rant.
There's still music like that,
Okay.
and it's not good music.
Exactly. It's not good music, and we would never say it's good music. That's the difference between a high art and a low art. Nobody will say The Room is good, but people will say we enjoy it. In regards to the actual fucking music, people will say,
What is it? Death Grips. I don't know what that is. Is that a band?
what y'all think of Death Grips?
I don't know what that is.
Shit, I don't fucking know. What is Death Grips? Give us a link.
It was. I can't click on a link from here.
That's
But-
true, and we can't.
Anyway, rewinding. I call bullshit on your thing.
You
But
can go
anyway.
bullshit all you want. I don't give a fuck. I just know for a goddamn fact, high art, low art, film, low music, high. There are other examples, but fuck you.
But you were mentioning the thing.
Experimental hip hop band?
Probably
That sounds-
terrible.
I don't know. I fucking love the shit out of it.
I don't like hip hop. I'm not a fan.
Okay, yeah, you don't like hip hop. I fucking love hip hop.
You
I'm
like
all
bad
about that.
things?
Like, hook me up, son. Give me a fucking link.
We don't have a
Hold
way to link.
Oh, whatever. Hold on. I gotta take a fucking
You gotta
piss.
take a piss?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a thing and you're taking pisses.
Listen. No one cares.
Some people care. We'll be right back after these messages. So we should have a sponsored channel. We will. Oh, I love Fallout 4. The story's not as good as Fallout 3, or even New Vegas, really. New Vegas, I think, had the best story. But Fallout 4 was innovative, and I feel like when they make Fallout 4... I liked the game better than New Vegas, but I like New Vegas' story better. But Fallout, I think whatever Fallout 5 or Fallout 4.5 or whatever you want to call it, I think that game will be the real game because they've expanded their gameplay to new things and they're going to have a much better grasp on what they want to do, but they'll be able to apply a better story because the story was not terrible, but I don't know. The really thing that I hated was the quest line that made it so repetitive. The fact that you can repeat quests was not enjoyable. It takes you out of the game. It makes it into a game. It's less of an experience and more of a game. We're talking about Fallout 4, which I don't think you played. Did you play Fallout 4?
Okay. No, I haven't played.
I played on the Xbox One because that's what I have.
No, I haven't played Fallout 4, but I've seen a lot of it. Probably too much. I feel bad because I feel like I might play Fallout 4 and not be as engrossed in it.
And yeah, I can't do
I think
that.
I will anyway.
If I watch a game played, I will not play it. That's why I never played the original Mass Effect. Because he wasn't my roommate, but he was staying with me. That happens a lot. But he played the shit out of Mass Effect 1. And I think somebody else played 2, and I just watched him, and I was like, I've seen a bunch. I don't want to play it. And then I played 3 because I was living by myself, so I just played, and I didn't get that full experience, and that's the problem with, I don't know, I can't play a game that I've seen played so much. I almost didn't play Dark Souls for that same reason. I ended up playing it, which was not terrible, but yeah.
Just because you mentioned Dark Souls, my big beef with Dark Souls is everyone was talking about how hard it was. I played it. It's easy as a motherfucker.
Shut up.
It is.
Shut up.
Okay, you want to know what it's like? It's like when Caleb was playing Super Meat Boy.
But that you die a lot?
No. Caleb was like, Super Meat Boy, it's really hard. And I was like, no, it's not. And he's like, bullshit, it is. And so I challenged him. I was like, I'll bet you I forget what we bet. But I was like, I bet you give me 3 lives and I'll beat this level. And he was like, okay. I beat it in 2. Like, that's the thing. Everyone talks about games being difficult. Games are difficult.
Dark Souls was hard as fuck. That's the whole point of Dark Souls.
No,
you will die.
Wasn't. Everybody was talking about, like, oh, you will die in Dark Souls. And I was like,
you did. Like, you
no, it's
you didn't
so
beat Dark
easy.
Souls.
It's so easy. No, I didn't beat Dark Souls, but I played Dark Souls, and everyone was talking about, like, oh, it's so difficult, it's super difficult. You're going to die fucking 100 times. I was like, nigga, are you serious?
He asked, did you play The Witcher 3? I didn't.
No.
I didn't play any of The Witchers.
No, me neither.
So yeah, that's why we need Brandon here. Brandon played the shit out of The Witcher 3. He always talked about banging broads. That's the thing. Brandon can't play games if there's sex in them because he gets so fucking distracted. He doesn't have sex in real life, so he has to like live vicariously through his video game counterparts.
Damn, that's cold.
Cold-blooded. But
I miss Dave Chappelle now.
It got all the what?
It got all the Game of the Years.
Oh, Game of the Years. Did
Yeah.
It? Game of the Year is such an arbitrary tag.
Listen.
Every game is fucking Game of the Year.
No, every good game is Game of the Year.
Which is stupid. You can't have 6 games that come out in 1 year that are all Game of the Year.
If they're all good,
That's not the Game of the Year. That's the multiple games that you know at a tag.
Games of the Year.
That's not what it's called. It says Game of the Year.
It says Game of the Year, but listen, there are other fucking contenders. All right? You can't just, it's not like other fucking shit.
Lump it into a genre so you can give it a new best comedy, The Martian.
Yeah. Martian was kind of funny up.
That's what everybody said. Just because you have humor in your
but that's
movie,
the thing.
doesn't make
it's
it a
funny
fucking
because
comedy.
the reason I think it got best comedy was because there were no other funny movies that year. Also, it was a good ass movie. The Martian was fucking great.
That's what I heard. I haven't watched it.
You gotta watch it. That's your problem.
I don't watch movies.
You don't watch movies. You don't watch new movies. You watch the same shit over and over and over again.
Because I like routine. I got stuff to do. I can't be just watching
I've been
movies.
trying to get you to watch fucking CBGB or Chef
for
the past week, you piece of shit.
Because I just have to be in a mood to watch.
No, you don't. You don't have to be in a mood. You just have to be like,
because I won't absorb it. I'll just be like, and I'll zone out, and I won't care.
You won't zone out though.
I will though. I will.
I can't.
That's like the same reason that like I don't watch The Wife. Like I don't watch fucking Sherlock. You know, at every fucking turn is because I have to be like in a thing, man. You don't know my life.
I do know your life. You're fat and you take pictures and you watch your kid.
Yeah, and I like to do that, so I like to have things that I recognize. I like routine. I do my Smite thing, and then I call it night. I play.
You need to stop that. No, you need to stop, because that's the thing. I think that is one of the Quentin Tarantino actually was talking about that, because he was saying with Netflix, Hulu, all that shit, he was like, I had to stop watching TV, because he was talking about new TV shows coming up, and so he said, I can't watch TV anymore. He's like, I just can't. He's like, I realized I was wasting like 18 hours at a time watching some new TV show. And I wasn't gaining anything from it. I was just watching a TV show. He's like, yeah, I kind of enjoyed watching the TV show, but most of the time it was just there in the background. I was doing something else, and this TV show was on.
So I can't watch a movie that's
random. But that's the thing. He was like, I need to watch films. He's like, when I started making films, I didn't go to film school. I didn't do any of that shit. I watched films. You need to watch films.
Why? So I can make a bunch of movies that are all derivative?
Yes.
Ha! Fucking Tarantino. I will agree with him on the Netflix thing, though, is that and that's why I like this 11/23/63, the way Hulu.
I haven't seen it
not
yet.
Not necessarily
I want to watch it.
Not the show itself, but the way Hulu was doing it. Because Netflix, they're like, here's a new show, and they drop it, and here's the whole show. Fucking go watch it. You know, every show they do that. Every show, every new season they do that. Hulu was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, here's this new cool show, and it's technically a miniseries. It's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
But they're like, here's one. All right, wait till next week. Here's two. Wait till next week. And I think that's what made TV so cool when you weren't watching it on Netflix, when you're watching it on actual network television before fucking TiVo, before all the bullshit, and you had to watch commercials and you had to fucking sit there. I want to watch this show. It's only on at this time, or I can watch a rerun later. Even then, but if you go back far enough, you didn't even have the reruns. You had to watch it when it came on. But it gave you that chance to be like, I'm going to watch this show, and I'm going to go talk about it with all my friends. Like Game of Thrones, you know? Game of Thrones drops at episode 1, and you're like, fuck, dude, did you guys see Game of Thrones? Oh, my God, all this shit happens. Then you have Jackass. It's like, oh, I didn't see it yet. I'm going to watch it on fucking blah, blah, blah. And you're like, fuck off. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones so you can get the hell out.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with Netflix because it's like, did you watch it? Well, I only watched episode 5. Oh, well, you got to get to episode 7. Oh, well, I only started the first episode. Like, everybody's just so disjointed because there's so many variables of when you can just it's whoever has the most time to sit there for fucking half an hour or for 6 hours. And that's what sucks about Netflix's fucking rollouts. It does suck.
It is unfortunate. Like, okay, for example, what's it? House of Cards.
Never seen it.
You've never watched
I just don't. I love Kevin Spacey. I can't. I will give it to you. I can't justify my non-watching of House of Cards because I give it the original argument. God damn. I don't like the politics.
Every time you say some stupid shit, I'm going to steal your drink.
I don't.
Actually, you're down for 2, so.
Particularly care about the politics thing, but everybody says it's so much more than that, which I can admit is probably true.
It is more than that.
And I love Kevin Spacey.
God damn it, Rick. We're done with this. We're going to watch House of Cards. Because you need to watch fucking House of Cards. It's brilliant.
That's what everybody says.
You are such a fucking hipster piece of shit right now.
I'm not a hipster.
You are, though. You're like, oh, it's popular. How good can it be? That's you.
That's why I didn't want to watch Game of Thrones. And I still agree that I was not given what I was promised. It's like voting for Trump.
No, but that's the thing. Like, House of Cards is good. Yes, there are politics. Yes, it is mostly about the political situation in America, but it is so much more than that. It is about a villain, an actual true to life villain, a fucking sociopath.
I don't know. The original show was a lot better, I feel. Now I'm a hipster. Touch my drink.
Is this empty? My point is, it was about this guy who is willing to do anything for success,
Walter White?
for advancement. Yes!
So it's just derivative. Like everything else.
No, because now it is in the arena of politics and not making meth.
So it's more evil.
Yes! Listen, spoiling the first,
Whoa.
I think, 10 minutes of House of Cards.
Spoilers.
You haven't watched it yet. This is your fault.
Spoil. It's been out a while. No, season 2 just came out.
Season 1! Fucker, it's season 4!
There aren't 4 seasons?
Yes!
Jesus Christ, where the fuck am I been? I thought they were all like maybe starting 3 soon.
No, it's season 4, you
I
dumbass.
said, goddamn.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you.
That'll be on the docket.
Oh,
I'll watch House of Cards before I watch
Fine.
Or EBGB or
CBG.
KBGB.
CBGB is great. It's about a fucking punk.
I hate punk rock. It's the worst kind of rock.
I can't deal with you right now.
Why? Because punk rock sucks. You want to talk about punk rock, some fucking Green Day?
I can't.
Wait, hold on.
Green Day? Really? That's
Punk
your
rock.
point?
Isn't
Green
that-
Day?
Okay, that's like new punk rock.
That's like fucking the punk rock that sold out. I'm talking fucking Talking Heads.
Flaming Lips.
No.
They're punk, aren't they?
No, Flaming Lips is like avant-garde.
That's punk. I feel like that's a definition.
That
of punk.
is definitely part of Patti Smith.
The Ramones.
The Ramones.
I fucking hate the Ramones. Oh my god, people who like the Ramones are so fucking stupid. I love the Ramones. You're gonna break my chair.
Good. Your fat ass is already breaking like 2 of them.
What's the other one? The other big one. Oh, Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious.
What was his?
Also fun. Izzy Pop.
No, who was Sid? Who was the band?
Or Iggy Pop. What? Sid Vicious?
Yeah. I
Oh,
forget his
fuck.
band.
I forget. Hold on. Let me drink.
Yeah. I can't remember the band. At all.
Anyway, my point is CBGB. It's talking about the birth of punk. Shut up. You will watch it.
I
I'm
saw-
gonna fucking sit your fat ass down and make you watch it. One of
I
these
saw
days.
SLC
Maybe
Punk with
tonight.
Matthew Lillard. I'm good. That's my primer. I got enough out of that.
Oh God.
I feel like I got what I needed to get out of the punk rock genre
I hate you.
from that film.
You are the worst. You are the actual worst. You might be my nemesis.
I'm basically Walter White.
You're not Walter White. You're not smart at all. Well, how do you make crystal meth? Let's start there.
It's a big process. We're gonna get the process done. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make the process. We're gonna make the meth.
You're just trumping.
We're gonna
right
get it
now.
done.
You're
Trumping.
You're trumping.
Totally.
Anyway, what the fuck was I on about anyway?
Fucked if I know. You
Yeah,
ramble.
true that. Anyway, so no, we're gonna fucking make your dumbass watch CBGB.
We got a list now. We got a list.
Anyway, in regards to fucking House of Cards, right? Kevin Spacey, like I said, spoiler alert, first 10 minutes of episode 1, he kills a dog.
What the fuck, a dog?
Yeah.
I can't watch that shit.
You
That's
can't.
fucked up, man.
He's
Killing
out.
dogs?
He walks outside, and a car hits a dog,
Huh.
and it's laying in the street. He walks over to it, and he's like, "Oh, dead or dying dog." But then he looks at the camera, breaks that fourth wall, and he says,
There is a lot of that in there. Isn't
"Oh
there?
yeah, he breaks
He's
the
the
fourth
fucking
wall." a
Zach
lot.
Morris of the political world.
Oh, it's so good. But he breaks the fourth wall, and he looks at the camera, and he's just like, "I cannot abide uselessness, weakness, something along those lines." And so he leans down next to the dog. And it's funny because in the first 5 minutes, he feigns concern. He tells everybody "Oh my God, it's a dog. It's been hit."
Does he talk like that?
He has
I
a
can't
really
fucking,
funny,
oh my
he has
God.
a good Southern accent. It's not like mine where I have to
You sound
bring
like
it
a
up.
piece of shit.
I mostly sound like a piece of shit. And it mostly comes through when I'm drunk anyway, but fuck it.
I did the same thing for the British.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, the thing, I grew up in Oklahoma. Sometimes it just fucking sneaks out. Anyway, Point being, motherfucking Kevin Spacey comes out and he's just like, I cannot abide uselessness. I cannot abide fucking whatever. And so he's leaning over the dog. He just rolls up his sleeves and then leans over and he fucking strangles a dog.
What a way to do it.
And kills it. And then he stops and he backs off.
Did he say weakness or uselessness?
I don't know. I forget. But then people run up and he looks at them and he says, I'm sorry. I did all I can do. The dog died. And everyone's like, oh my God, the dog died. And they're sad.
It would be sad.
But he fucking killed it and he lied about it just like that. So easily. Like it was fucking nothing. And then he just kind of looks at the camera and he smiles. He gives like this little smirk. That's all you need to know about the character. Motherfucker's willing to kill a dog.
Sounds dumb.
Oh, it's so good.
Because
good.
Even if he said uselessness or weakness, that's not the dog. The animal was mortally wounded.
I think it's uselessness or something. I can't remember what the fuck. You have to watch it. That's the only solution. You have to watch it to get the whole story.
Like, so you're saying, oh, you're gonna die, so I'm gonna get ready. Like, that's stupid. So if I shoot Kevin Spacey's character in the fucking chest,
yeah,
and like, well, you're gonna kill. Like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna be useful anymore because you're gonna die. Like, that's dumb. That is a dumb premise.
That's
and
fucking brilliant.
Canceled.
Anybody who's
off the list.
Give me this.
No, it's mine. No, this YouTube thing isn't working.
I told you.
You told me. You didn't tell me
I
shit.
did say.
You said YouTube over Periscope. I said Periscope over YouTube.
No, I said Periscope is limited in its what have you. YouTube, not so much.
Periscope's wicked better though, dog.
Periscope's good. Just gotta fucking hit